I didn't plan on making another video like this until the new year, but after going over my previous one many times and seeing all the comments, I realized I probably should, just so that people don't keep seeing that terrible one. So today I have another list of my top 5 Warframes, but this time it's going to be a little different. In the last ones that I've done, I always try to do many things. I tried to make them noob friendly, I showed some pretty bad builds, and just did a mediocre job of explaining everything. Now, I will still stand by what I said, saying that those frames are great and all, but to be fair, every Warframe in this game is good. But do keep in mind that with any list video when it comes to this game, it's always going to be opinion. Everyone has their own favorite frame, their own favorite weapons, and no one can get mad at you for enjoying who you play. But if they do, then they have a problem in their life because, well, it's just a game. So for this top 5 Warframe list, I am going to be changing it completely. Every time that I've done one, I've always been trying to pander, but this time it's going to be all me. These are my favorite Warframes and nothing else. I'm not going to try and make anyone love the same frames as I do. This is just the top 5 frames that I enjoy playing, and I'm not going to be going over builds or anything, but I will talk about why I like the frame, and that'll be it. It's very simple and straightforward. With that being said, let's begin Graduated Owl's top 5 Warframes of 2019 as of right now. Out of every tank in the game, Inaros is both one of the best and my favorite to play. Being able to just pocket sand everybody that you see is incredibly fun, and with every ability that you have being able to heal you other than your spinny tornado ability, it's super easy to stay alive. Also, having over 5,000 health is always a nice thing to have. Your second ability allows you and your teammates to eat an enemy, which will both heal you and then turn that enemy into an ally for a short amount of time. Inaros also has very high armor, and his fourth ability only gives you even more, making you practically invincible. Inaros is perfect to me because you don't have to really worry about dying too often, and you can just heal any damage taken so quickly, and it's just nice to have all around. And if you do die, the passive that you have allows you to self-res by killing 2 enemies, but this is also where my only real problem comes with him, which is that, of course, in high-level missions, you really can't kill those enemies too often. But other than that, Inaros fits a very, very good tank role while also being able to maintain very high damage and just great usability all around. The next frame on this list is going to be Trinity. Healer or tank? How about you just run her as both? For me, Trinity allows me to play the role that I usually don't enjoy, which is support, in a very enjoyable way. I love being able to actually be active and damage everything, so in other games like Overwatch, my favorite supports happen to be Lucio and Baptiste because, well, they get into the action better. Compare those heroes to someone like Mercy, where you're just kind of sitting back and only healing your teammates and can't really do anything else, and it doesn't seem nearly as fun to me. Trinity has always been fun for me, and she is just useful in about every situation. Eidolons, orbs, sorties, arbitrations. There just isn't a way to run her in a mission where it doesn't work, which is sort of rare for most frames because usually there's at least one place where frame doesn't work. But Trinity just fits everything so well, and I don't think any other healer type frame will be able to catch my attention as much as her. Especially if you run one of her abating link builds where you just pretty much negate all of the damage you take and put it onto other enemies. And of course, as a healer and a support, you can give everyone energy and health constantly. It really just makes her all around a very enjoyable Warframe to play, which is why she's on this list. Equinox is up next as one of my favorite frames in the game because you can just play her in so many different ways. Now, of course, you can play almost every Warframe in a very different manner as someone else, but for me, Equinox is the frame that I always think of when I'm thinking of like builds that are vastly different from one another, unlike just slightly different. If you want a stealthy build, you can just run a sleep build and sleep everyone that you come across. If you want to nuke everything you see, that's possible and very easy to do. I never really used Equinox much before her primed form came out, only ever taking her out to level my weapons, but after getting Equinox Prime, just running all of her many different builds and augments completely changed my opinion on her. I'm still not the biggest fan of nuke frames in general, but that's not for this video, because to be completely fair, even though I'm not a big fan of them, they are still very fun to use, even though they can make everything a little too easy. But sometimes it's just fun to destroy everything by existing around them. Equinox is just incredibly fun and powerful, and it's just such a useful frame that I can't really not put her on this list. Second to last on this list is going to be Mesa. Mesa is one of the only frames on this list that I've actively been using ever since I started playing. She was the first frame that I got on console, and I have always enjoyed using her ever since. My friend originally gifted her to me after starting out as Loki, and she's just always been such an incredible frame to me. Making quick work of almost any group that you come across is incredibly fun with the Peacemakers, and being able to buff you and your allies' guns by so much allows you to make easy work of any enemy that you come across. Shatter Shield is also just such a useful ability that makes Mesa incredibly tanky, allowing you to reduce up to 95% of the damage you take other than melee damage, which is also where the main issue with that is that of course getting one shot by like a flame blade that you didn't really see can be very disheartening, but it happens so little that it's not really a deal breaker for this ability. Oh, also explosions do bypass the shield, so watch out for bombards too. Other than that, with everything else that Mesa has to offer, she's just such a powerful frame that is very enjoyable to play, unless you are playing her by just hitting 4 and spinning in circles. That's not very fun to me, but you can play her however you want. I mentioned with Mesa that she is one of the few frames that I've been playing for a while. Well, unlike her, Saren is someone that I've only recently started playing. I never really played her because, well, I don't know, she just never really stood out to me and was always just mastery fodder for the longest time. But after the longest time, putting Forma on her has completely changed my opinion on her for the better. After just seeing so many comments telling me to try her out in my last video like this, I just couldn't resist. There were too many people telling me to that I just had to see what my opinion would be of her. After going through so many different builds, I finally settled on one that I absolutely loved, which is a regenerative molt build, which is just where you put the augment on it pretty much, which is of course the augment that allows you to heal whenever you use regenerative molt, which even though that doesn't seem as powerful as you might think, it is very, very powerful to have, especially in high-level missions. After doing everything that I just mentioned, she went from being one of my least favorite frames in game to my absolute favorite and possibly about to be my most played. So yeah, Saren is definitely hands down my current favorite frame in this game, and that's probably not going to be changing for quite a while. But on that note, I do want to say that if there is a frame that a lot of other people may be talking about being really fun and you've just never really looked into them, or if you have played them and you didn't really enjoy them at first, try them again or try a different build. They could have been changed, or maybe you just didn't really have as much fun as you did the first time, and maybe it'll be different the next time, because there is no frame in this game that is bad. I've said that many times throughout this video, and I will always stand by that. With all that being said, that brings us to the end of the video, and I hope you guys did enjoy more than my last one, and I will probably not be making another one of these for another 6 months. I want to do them always at the end of the year, and I, again, didn't really plan on doing this one, but I just felt that I needed to. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, be sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you're new to my channel and want more Warframe content. And as always, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace out.